Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done. And
Rachel Zegler is breaking down in real time, and the internet is watching every second of it. After Disney's Snow White remake flopped at the box office, the rising star is now caught in a whirlwind of backlash, emotional speeches, and desperate image control. Today, we're delving into the twists, turns, and high-profile drama that have pushed this once promising film toward a financial meltdown. The hype started strong. The casting was controversial from the get-go, and the production challenges were relentless. Now, the fallout has both critics and fans questioning Disney's entire live-action strategy. From behind-the-scenes disasters to a lead actress who hasn't exactly won the public's favor, there's plenty to unpack about why Snow White never found its fairy tale ending in theaters. Let's trace the entire journey and see what lessons Hollywood might learn from this big-budget misfire. Snow White is Disney's first princess, the iconic figure who launched an empire back in 1937. Remaking this beloved classic was always a high-stakes gamble, and the pressure was on from the moment the project was announced. With a rumored budget exceeding $170 million, some say up to $270 million, the studio put everything on the line, banking on nostalgia and the massive success of past live-action hits like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. Disney clearly believed it could replicate the same winning formula. Big marketing budgets were allocated, star talent was recruited, and fans braced themselves for what could have been a visually stunning tribute to an animated masterpiece. Yet, somewhere along the line, the wheels came off, leaving everyone to wonder how it all went wrong. Production problems stacked up from the earliest days of filming. The Hollywood actor strike caused indefinite delays that reverberated across multiple blockbuster projects, and Snow White was no exception. Long breaks in shooting forced the crew to scramble with scheduling, and the costs just kept rising. On top of that, the film was plagued by a COVID outbreak that shut everything down again, derailing momentum and pushing the budget even higher. Then, as if that weren't enough, a literal fire on set halted production and cast a shadow over everyone's morale. Insiders whispered that the project might be cursed, joking that perhaps some modern twist on the Evil Queen's curse had manifested in the real world. With each setback, more time was lost, more money burned, and a creeping sense of doubt began to overshadow the entire production. None of these obstacles might have mattered if the final product were an undeniable crowd pleaser, but Snow White was hounded by controversy long before its release. Much of the drama centered around its star, Rachel Zegler, whose casting was initially met with curiosity. She was relatively new to the Hollywood scene, fresh off performances that showcased her singing talent and on-screen presence. Disney clearly saw star potential. Yet, interviews with Zegler soon stirred the pot. She called the original 1937 film outdated, criticized the prince as a weird stalker, and insisted the classic love story needed modernizing. Hardcore Disney fans, who revere the original animated film as a foundational piece of cinematic history, found her remarks disrespectful, even insulting to Walt Disney's legacy. Zegler's challenges didn't end there. Old social media posts emerged, revealing her fierce political opinions, particularly against Donald Trump and his supporters. Some critics argued she had every right to speak her mind. Others felt alienated, believing she'd outright attacked a major segment of the audience. The controversy ballooned quickly, fueling hashtags like #BoycottSnowWhite. Social media was ablaze with users calling Disney out of touch for standing by an actress who openly mocked half the country. Disney attempted damage control, encouraging Zegler to issue an apology. She did, explaining that her words were fueled by strong emotions, but many people found the apology forced or insincere. The backlash persisted, overshadowing trailers and official teasers. Instead of focusing on the film's enchanting visuals, audiences buzzed about what negative headline might drop next. Adding to the storm, Zegler's public statements about her pay further raised eyebrows. At one point, she voiced an expectation to be compensated for every hour Snow White was streamed online, likening her work in a princess costume to the physical extremes of Hollywood's biggest action stars. She compared the grueling nature of standing 18 hours on set to the stunts performed by Tom Cruise or Sylvester Stallone. Viewers found that comparison more comedic than convincing, triggering another round of mockery across social media. Memes spread like wildfire, painting her as egotistical and out of touch. Fans accused her of failing to recognize that she'd landed a dream role, one that millions of aspiring actors would have taken in a heartbeat without these public demands. Once the film hit theaters, the numbers spoke for themselves. Opening weekend in the United States came in at a disappointing $43 million, a figure so low that even the most pessimistic forecasts hadn't dipped that far. Internationally, it didn't fare much better, bringing the global total to a figure that couldn't even cover the marketing budget, let alone recoup production costs. Analysts scrambled to revise their projections, and it was soon clear Snow White was in freefall. Even comparisons to Disney's worst live-action efforts like Dumbo favored those past disappointments. Critics noted that Snow White not only performed poorly, but also sparked a level of public vitriol unlike anything seen in other Disney remakes. Negative word of mouth overshadowed any positive aspects, pushing casual moviegoers to stay away. The ripple effects of this failure reached far beyond just a financial loss for Disney. Rachel Zegler's career trajectory, once seemingly set to soar, hit a major roadblock. Industry insiders now question whether she'll continue to secure big-budget roles. Producers become skittish when an actor's personal controversies overshadow the project itself. Even if a star is talented, studios typically want someone who can draw a wide audience, not alienate half of it before opening weekend. Rumors spread that Disney might quietly back away from her in future endeavors. No official statements have confirmed this, but fans and insiders alike see the writing on the wall. A big studio can't easily gamble hundreds of millions of dollars on a film if a vocal portion of the audience is already committed to staying away. The blame game now touches everyone involved with Snow White. Some fault Disney's radical changes and weak marketing, while others criticize the film's condemnation of classic elements, like calling the prince creepy. Critics say empowerment is good, but labeling a beloved fairy tale problematic alienated fans. Supporters see room for reinterpretation. Opponents argue the 1937 classic deserves respect. Many fans found the new portrayal lacking in charm and authenticity. Others question whether the film ever stood a chance under so much controversy. The box office disaster sparks a broader debate on Disney's live-action strategy. Once a surefire formula, pairing nostalgia with flashy effects now faces resistance when remakes stray too far from beloved originals. Snow White may be the tipping point, warning studios to tread carefully with cherished legacies. Rachel Zegler's polarizing comments haven't helped, leaving some convinced she can bounce back with the right roles, while others believe her image is too damaged. Financial analysts worry repeated failures could sour investors' confidence. Disney must now weigh if such reboots still align with evolving viewer expectations. With the film's box office officially cementing Snow White as a flop, many are left asking if this will finally prompt Disney to reconsider its approach. Are we nearing the end of the live-action trend, or will the studio dig in its heels, aiming to recapture the financial success of earlier remakes? One thing is certain. The catastrophic performance of Snow White proves that slapping a classic title on a big-budget project is no longer a guaranteed smash. Audience trust has to be earned, and loyalty can vanish in an instant when fans sense that a beloved legacy is being ridiculed or exploited. The meltdown of Snow White might be the cautionary tale that forces Hollywood to pay closer attention to fan sentiment, particularly when dealing with sacred cultural icons. Where do you stand on the Snow White remake? Do you believe Rachel Zegler's comments were blown out of proportion, or did they truly sink the film's chances of success? Was Disney too eager to reshape a classic? Or did the studio simply fail to handle the public relations fallout effectively? Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like this video if you found it insightful, share it with fellow Disney fans to spark conversation, and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into Hollywood's most talked about stories. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss the next major update in the ever-evolving world of entertainment. Your voice matters here. Join the debate and keep the conversation alive. Thanks for watching. Until next time.